Today, I'm sitting here with you with no hat, nothing done to my hair, and in desperate need of a haircut. And I feel like shit. I feel really bad about it. But I do it to prove a point. Because a couple weeks ago, my wife and we were having breakfast with her parents. And I wanted to do my hair for that occasion. Not because I loved my hair so much and I really wanted to do that. No, more like because I thought they don't like me wearing a hat. Yeah, that was all wrong. But this video is not about that. I want to use that story kind of as an example. Because that day, that morning in the bathroom, I was battling with my hair. I tried to make it behave. It was kind of the length my hair is now. So not fresh from the barber, none of that. And I kept putting more and more wax into it to make it behave to a point where I couldn't even wear a hat anymore. And there was also no time to shower. So I kind of felt trapped and I kept muttering to myself and insulting myself and kept hating on my hair. And my wife heard me and wanted to help and came over and told me she loves my hair and I should be proud of my hair. Other people would love it to have my hair. All of that. And nothing helped. I was in a spiral because this video is about overthinking and catastrophizing, not about hair. This is just the story. This is just the packaging. I think I can speak for a lot of us that when I say that I think growing up, or at any point in our life, we want to be invisible. That was definitely true for me. Growing up as a child, I got bullied a lot and I wanted to be invisible. So standing out for me was the worst thing that could happen. I wanted to be as average and as invisible as possible. And that still persists parts of it. I'm working on it. But that's not really healthy. That is not healthy. That's not healthy behavior. Life is all about finding a middle point, finding a good golden, no, photography is like a third. Forget that. It's finding a middle point. It's with everything in life is like that. Imagine, drinking water. We all need water to stay healthy. And I think we all drink not enough. But imagine I drink now, in 5 minutes, the amount of water Shaquille O'Neal drinks during a game. That would probably kill me. That's not really healthy. That's way too much. On the other hand, just sipping like a tiny glass of water the whole day during a heat? No, that's not healthy either. That's way too little. Middle ground, that's where we want to be. And the same is true for your own self picture or what you think about yourself like looking like. Because you can be on one end and walking around really believing you're the best looking person in the world and you're letting everybody know. Every conversation you say like, yeah, but they look okay, but not as good as me. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. That is funny for some time, but in the end, that will not make you many friends. That's way too much. The other part is looking in the mirror, hating your hair, and thinking you're a hideous troll, like me that morning. That's not very healthy either. It's really finding the middle ground. And I know that sounds like generic self-help bullshit. I'm aware of that, because it kind of is. It is like that. It's just true, sadly. But it is really important for us as like overthinkers to remember that, because we love to catastrophize. And that catastrophizing is not staying in the middle. Catastrophizing is not aiming for the middle ground. Catastrophizing is going to the extreme, no matter on which end. Quickly back and recap to my morning with my hair. I ended up just leaving it as it was because I had no other choice, because otherwise we would be way too late for the breakfast with my parents-in-law, and we didn't wanted that. I was not in the best mood, as you can imagine. I was not angry at anybody specific. I was angry at myself. And sitting there, approaching the restaurant and then sitting there and them just being lovely and asking questions and starting to talk, I felt like an absolute piece of shit that I dragged the whole mood down for my wife that morning, and she just wanted to help. Don't worry, we're adults and we talked about it, and I apologized, and she knows where that's from, and I'm working on it. But also, after 10 minutes of sitting at the table, having breakfast, joking, talking, I didn't even thought about my hair anymore, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about tiny details, either on your body as much as you do. Nobody cares. And that is something we really need to remember. I'm, of course, also aware that it will not change from one day to another. You know, I will not suddenly wake up and love my hair and not catastrophize and not doing any of this. And I will not sit here and try to convince you and tell you to just not care anymore. Or tell you also, you look really good. I just also in this video told you that that does not work. So we'll not sit here doing that, because it doesn't work. It doesn't even work when a loved one says that to you. Why should it work when I do that? But maybe stop ruining a whole mood or the whole breakfast before it even started, Johannes, okay? That's something I'm telling me now. And I can also not tell you that I will never do that again. I will probably also, I will still feel bad about my hair. I will still feel bad about things on my body. I will still feel bad about a lot of stuff. But what I'm really trying to do is letting it not ruin the day anymore. That is, I think, the closing words, the thing you should take away from this. To not change your perspective, not thinking everything will be great. It will not. But changing, like, okay, even though I feel bad about my hair, even though I feel bad about whatever it is you're feeling bad about, even though I do feel bad about that, I will not let it ruin another day. That happened often enough. I will still feel bad about it, but I will still go on. So please, letting whatever you're struggling with not ruin another day for you. I hope you like this. I hope that made sense. And thank you so much for spending some time with me. I wish you a wonderful day and see you next time. Take care.